Good evening, everyone. So I mentioned the other day I'd like to do a nighttime video, and here we are. So I like coming out in the orchard at nighttime because there's a hell of a lot of insect activity takes place at night, especially spiders, which are very beneficial predators in the orchard for some of the pest bugs and things that attack macadamias. Just here, for instance, there's a spider just in the tree there. Now, this video is going to be difficult given that I have to try and film in front of my head torch, but we'll do our best. Now, this tree here is the one I was talking about the other day that is covered in red-shouldered beetle. So this was a very high flowering tree. It was covered in buds of covered in a lot of buds, but the red-shouldered beetles have attacked it, and you'll see that these beetles are literally all over the tree. There would be hundreds of thousands of beetles on this tree. Wherever you look, they're on the flowers, the buds. Here's some damage to some young fresh leaves. They'll chew on them as well. So I'm not sure I'll be getting any nuts at all off this particular tree this year, but I've never had a major red-shouldered beetle incursion like this before, so it will be interesting to see just if this tree manages to produce anything. There are still some viable looking buds up the top there, but given how many beetles are on this tree, I'm not overly confident of getting anything. But this is as I said the other day, this is a fairly isolated little pocket of such high red-shouldered beetle activity. There's only one or two trees here, or two or three trees. There's some more damage to the leaves there. So they've spread to at least two trees, but these may just be sacrificial trees for the rest of the orchard this year. I'm not sure why the red-shouldered beetle damage, or we've had this swarm appear this year, possibly due to the dry conditions. As I said, I've never had such a major infestation previously. Now up this tree here, I noticed there's a bird roosting in the tree. There he is, he's just woken up. Looks like, might even be a butcher bird, possibly. So we'll leave him alone, try not to disturb him. But that's just an example. I often run into birds roosting in trees at night time when I'm out walking around. So let's just wander down this way to the A268s, which were in full flower from the other day, and we'll just see what sort of activity we can find going on in these flowers. Now I can already see a moth up here. Got his eye shine just then. Have I picked him up there? So these moths, there he is. I often see them at night. They're actually feeding on the flowers. I'm not entirely sure what sort of moths they are, but I would have to assume that they assist with pollination of the flowers, given that I see them with their little proboscis, if that's the right term, stuck into the flowers all the time. There's another little spider. Not sure if that'll focus on the camera. It's a bit out of focus, too small. See what else we can find. There's another moth feeding on the flower as well. I'm pretty confident that is not the flower caterpillar moth. I think it's a lot smaller. What have we got over here? This flower all looks pretty good. I can't see too much sign of flower caterpillar damage here yet. So these A268s, they flower like mad. There's a spider up here, spider's web. Yeah, they flower like mad, but then they produce a few nuts, but I wouldn't call it a prolific nut bearer. Hasn't been for me in any case. Here's a little lacewing flying around. So lacewings are a generalist predatory insect. They will feed on many other insects they can find. So the primary thing you see at night is moths and spiders. I would imagine there's many different types of moths. Moths all look very similar. It's hard to differentiate one moth from another. I'm sure some of them are the flower caterpillar moths, but the good thing with the natural approach to pest control is you don't have to worry about what moth's what. You just let Mother Nature do the job for you. Okay, so I can't see too much else exciting apart from a lot of spiders. So for now I'll sign off. I'll keep wandering around, and if I see anything of interest I might pick it up as well. Talk to you later. Okay, so here I found a little tiny spider on this old flower. So I think this flower has been attacked by flower caterpillar. There's another one nearby where I actually saw a little caterpillar in it. But see the little tiny spider in there? He's the kind of fella that would attack and eat a flower caterpillar. So he's only very small, probably, he wouldn't even be a centimetre across his legs. But that's the kind of thing that's living in the flowers and feeding on the flower caterpillar and keeping them under control. And if you come along and spray for the flower caterpillar, there's another one up there, another little tiny spider. Looks like a different species. Have we got him? There he is. Go into focus. There we go. So just these tiny little spiders that you wouldn't even know existed unless you looked really closely at the right time, especially at night time you see them. And they're the ones that keep your flower caterpillar under control. And if you wipe them out with spray, they take a lot longer to come back than the flower caterpillars do, because the flower caterpillar moth just flies back in and lays some more eggs. The spiders can't fly back in. They take forever to come back. So my focus is on keeping those spiders, and they will look after the flower caterpillar primarily, and hopefully to a lesser extent other beetles and any other pests. There is another pest of macadamia flowers I haven't really talked about, called lacebug. I don't know a lot about lacebug because I don't have it on this farm, as far as I know. I've never had a problem with it. So whether that's I'm just lucky, or my beneficial insects are keeping it under control, I'm not 100% sure. But whatever it is, I'm glad I don't have it, and hopefully I never have any problems with it. Okay, I'm off to bed. Good night. Just wandering home, and I found some genuine, 100% certain flower caterpillar damage. A little bit on that flower there. There's a couple of racemes up there further. See if we can zoom in on them, where the whole raceme has been destroyed. It's not going to focus on it very well. It just goes all brown and horrible. There's a couple over here, they're good ones. You see those ones there? There's literally no flower left. It's all been chewed up, and there's a bit more up there, up higher. So that will not produce any nuts whatsoever. That's what bad flower caterpillar damage looks like. That will affect literally your whole tree if you have bad flower caterpillar issues. So that's what we're trying to avoid. And as you can see, there's so much flower that's not flower caterpillar affected. I also saw over here a little bird's nest up the tree here. So that's pretty cool. Not sure what sort of bird that would be. Maybe a little wren or something. But it's a good sign to see the birds using the macadamia trees for habitat. It's what we're all about.